In Melbourne tonight, the final match of the Australian Open, a new member of the exclusive Grand Slam club will be crowned. An intriguing storyline to cap a very festive 2 weeks here. Scene outside Rod Laver Arena, under the sun. There's a concert. The Australian identical twins, the Veronicas, are entertaining. And living his own sort of dream the last couple weeks is Jo-Wilfried Tsonga of France. Nicknamed Ali for his obvious resemblance to the former champ. Unseeded, he has muscled his way into the final. The underdog tonight against number 3 seed Novak Djokovic, who just took out Roger Federer in 3 impressive sets in the semifinals. 2 journeys to get to this final. For one, the journey will end clutching this cup. A life-changing triumph awaits one man tonight.
The primal instincts of the ancients are now noble values. Hunger for the nourishment of conquest. Pride in heritage and homeland. Belief in oneself. Courage to confront new challenges, to claim new territory, to overcome long odds. Intuition, to sense the stars aligning and that your time has come. The secrets to survival in the outback long ago are the keys to victory tonight at the Australian Open.
You can watch Tsonga win on ESPN. Yeah.
Oh, the French out in force, hoping their nation's long Grand Slam drought will end tonight. The unheralded Tsonga, but the Serbs are here too, and Djokovic has his cheering section. Tsonga certainly has been a heavyweight these last 2 weeks. You see a little bit of everything. I hope their parents are nearby. Festive scene out in the Garden Square. Folks not fortunate enough to have one of the 15,000 tickets inside a sold-out Rod Laver Arena. I'm Chris Fowler. We welcome you inside to our live coverage of the men's championship match. Well, the script here certainly has been scrapped, right? I mean, Roger Federer not in a Grand Slam final for the first time in 3 years. The plot has been twisted from Federer pursuing history to the young, talented, hungry pack pursuing Roger Federer, symbolized by these 2 finalists here tonight. Djokovic at age 20, the younger of the 2, but by far the more experienced, and it seems like his place at or near the top of tennis is pretty much a certainty. He hasn't dropped a set en route to this final. He's the favorite, but Jo-Wilfried Tsonga has been the underdog in so many of his matches. At 22, his career was set back by injury. He was once a top junior, but a herniated disc, some other injuries really set him back, and he considered quitting. A year ago at this time, he was playing in AAA tennis, places like Sarajevo and Tallahassee, the Bobby Bowden Open. But he began 08 in rare form, hungry, healthy, fit, and his demolition of Rafael Nadal in the semis, to all who witnessed it, they just were left stunned.
This is unbelievable.
I have to accept today, he played unbelievable.
This is downright unbelievable.
Just amazing. I played unbelievable tonight.
Well, what a start.
He got it. Excuse me? Are you kidding me? Wow.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's just silly.
Oh, what a point.
Oh, what tennis.
Drop her again.
I'm a believer. I am a believer.
Tsonga the other night was unbelievable. Some volleys, I can't believe some volleys.
Oh, speed! Wow! How does he keep coming up with those? You caught me. Oh, hello! Come on!
I'm in final and I can win. We are both on the court, so one is the winner.
This surely has got to be the beginning of something really big for him.
And Darren Killer Cahill joins me. Two great athletes with lots of tennis weapons and fueled by a strong self-belief. Let's go to Tsonga first, because not everybody believes, including Rafael Nadal, that Tsonga can maintain that level of tennis in his first pro final. Forget Grand Slam final. He's never walked on a court with an ATP Tour title at stake. Can he pull it off tonight?
You saw him play Nadal. No Federer, no Nadal. Why am I so excited about this match? It's incredible. He played amazing tennis. Absolutely, he can pull it off. And, you know, we can talk about his forehands, his backhands, the way he's played the matches so far in the tournament, and it's all coming together, and he played incredible tennis against Nadal. But, you know, Chris, the one thing that really, really impressed me was the way he handled himself when he actually beat Nadal. You know, it's been so long since we've seen an underdog come through and beat someone like Nadal, who's the world #2 player, and handled himself, didn't carry on like an idiot, went up and shook his hand, and then he did his thing afterwards. And you just don't see that in today's game. And boy, I tell you, this crowd have taken him like I've never seen any other foreigner. There's going to be a large percentage of this crowd that are going to be supporting Tsonga for sure.
It's been a high-speed love affair that's developed, and now Tsonga makes that walk down the hallway in Rod Laver Arena. The champions on either side, women to his left, men to the right. Again, he's never walked onto a court with a pro title at stake at the tour level. His father, Didier, who actually was ringside for the Rumble in the Jungle, watching Ali take down Foreman in Kinshasa, Zaire, and he has just flown in today for this. The French Federation is here. It's on live national television in France.
Wow.
A deep breath.
What an experience.
What a welcome. His dad said it was always a dream to visit Australia. Double a dream to watch his son compete for a Grand Slam final. And you can see the crowd roaring for Tsonga. Djokovic, as he was against Federer, will walk out as not the crowd favorite, but the favorite in the match tonight.
No question about it, Chris. He goes in as the guy who's established himself as the #3 player in the world. He's earned that. He would go into this match as the favourite, but we have the unknown factor, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. We just don't quite know how he's going to handle the occasion, but the tennis we saw against Nadal, he has to have a chance.
Yeah, conventional wisdom says it'll be a lot for Tsonga to handle, but Djokovic has to handle the role of being the favourite in his second Grand Slam final. That's a new experience for him as well. Stick around.
I've been playing some amazing tennis, probably the best tennis of my life.
Djokovic, the rising force in men's tennis.
The hunger for the success and the big support from the family brought me up to this level.
It was a comprehensive beating.
Hopefully I can make my lifetime goal to win a Grand Slam.
Welcome back. Just a beautiful summer night in Melbourne, Australia. Great anticipation inside Rod Laver Arena for this first men's Grand Slam final of 2008. There is Novak Djokovic and Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, the men who took out Nadal and Federer on consecutive nights. It was quite something to see on this court behind me here. The night after Tsonga blitzed Nadal, Djokovic walked out against Federer in a rematch of the U.S. Open final and did the unthinkable. Didn't just make, you know, Federer look human. He made him look sluggish and slow.
We sense that this could be a sort of watershed match. Maybe this could be the time that someone would really step up to Roger and bring it.
I've created a monster, so I know I need to always win every tournament. It's not easy, you know, coming out every week, you know, for sure trying to win. Lose a set and people say I'm playing bad, so it's sort of, it's my own mistake, I guess.
Oh, come on. Oh, he got it. Well played, said Federer.
Wow.
Djokovic on fire.
That's just too good. He's just being completely outplayed here.
He's even making Roger Federer look a little slow out there.
It means a lot to see some new faces in the finals.
Oh, yes.
He's completely dominated the match.
The dominance of Federer and Nadal was just amazing in the last couple of years. It's great for the media, for tennis lovers all around the world to see something new.
Roger Federer will not be in the Grand Slam final for the first time in 3 years.
It was a comprehensive beating.
There's some sort of a disappointment, but from, you know, the spirit, the way I fought, you know, the way I tried, that's all I could give.
Now, Darren, maybe Federer wasn't himself. He didn't completely back away from making excuses, but Djokovic was so dominant that perhaps his arrival will be the story of tennis in 2008.
His tennis has been great for the last 2 years, and we've seen a steady rise from Djokovic going through the rankings, and without a doubt, he's 1, 2 or 3 in the world. His tennis keeps improving. He goes into this match as favourite, no question about it, and probably he'll win a slam. There's no question he'll win a slam in his career, but will Jo-Wilfried Tsonga get the chance to win a slam? Chris, I'm leaning towards the Frenchman. I get that.
Really?
Well, I get that feeling he's got this momentum, this wave of momentum, and it's not stoppable. I'm going for the Frenchman.
To
In
win
four.
a slam in his first ever pro title in the same night.
The way he's handled himself, unquestionably, some of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's the first ever career meeting, and Dick Enberg, there is intrigue in the air, Melbourne, Australia tonight, isn't there?
Yeah, you said it, Chris. Scrap the script. We all prepare for these Grand Slam finals by getting our Nadal and Federer notes ready because one or the other or both are going to be in the final, but not this year. As youth has been served, and these two young lions have knocked out the two top players in the world. We've got a lot of things historically happening. Tsonga's working against the odds. A Frenchman has not won the Australian in 80 years, and an unseeded player has not won here in 32 years. That's what Tsonga faces, and yet Cahill thinks he's the man to beat. On the other hand, Djokovic would be the first ever Serbian champion, and he's trying to do something, as Patrick McEnroe and Mary Carrillo join us. Novak Djokovic is trying to do something that only 2 men in the Open era have accomplished. That's win all 7 matches in a Grand Slam in straight sets. Federer did it last year, and Borg did it in France in 1980. How about this kid from Serbia?
Well, I'll tell you, Dick, he's been brutally efficient, Novak Djokovic, not only with his off-court baseline game, but serving as well. And here's how he's been able to do it. I mean, I love the way he's been taking the ball early, and watch where he is, just hovering right along the baseline. This was against the Spaniard, David Ferrer. Now, Djokovic can hurt you from either side. This is a point from the match with Federer. That shot was really big for him, the forehand cross-court. And he's able to attack second serves, as he did here against Leighton Hewitt, steps around, an easy open court winner. Again, attacking second serves. I really think that's going to be a key tonight in this match. If Tsonga leaves too many balls hanging on the second serve, he's in trouble. And also the serve of Djokovic. Not tons of aces, but a lot of good percentage first serves. This was against Nadal now from Tsonga. And here's where I think Tsonga can get in trouble against Djokovic if he leaves too many balls in the middle of the court. Now, Nadal did not make him pay. But if Tsonga does that tonight, believe me, Novak Djokovic, Dick, will make him pay.
But Tsonga still was utterly unbelievable.
He was. He sure was.
Now, what worries me, Mary Carrillo, about
what are you worried about?
The young Frenchman from Le Mans, one of the racing capitals of Europe, is the fact that he, having won the night before, has had 3 days to celebrate how good he is. He's been hearing from all corners how great this young talent is.
Well, he has been that remarkable. I mean, he has hit shots that move beyond the imagination not only of you and Clippy the other night, but of Nadal himself. It's hard to rock Nadal like that. It's hard to make him think that, you know, he can't figure out a way to win a match. But Joe Willie has just played remarkable tennis, and it didn't start that way for this guy. In the first round, he had to play the 9th seed, Andy Murray, and he was broken 5 times. He had more winners than he had errors. He dropped the 3rd set at love. This is only the first round. But after that, boy, did he relax and he started feeling it. He beat Richard Gasquet, the 8th seed. He beat the 14th seed, Mikhail Yuzhny. By the end of the 6 rounds he's played, he's had many more winners than errors. He's had 85 aces alone.
Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, the Ali lookalike, serving for the opening point of this 2008 Australian Open Championship on January 28, 2008, just after 7:30 in the evening on Sunday night in Melbourne, Australia. First point to Djokovic. Djokovic, a big man. He doesn't look it on television. He's much bigger in person. 6'3" is Djokovic. Wilfried looks stocky and big at 6'2" and 200. But Djokovic, 6'3" and lanky, quick, and strong. 15 all.
Well, what's been amazing about Tsonga is, you know, the way he can so quickly attack a ball as he just did there with the forehand. He's so explosive, but because he's improved his fitness so much, Dick, in the last year, he's able to play plenty of defense as well.
And one can't help but wonder the emotions of these two young men. One of them will be an Australian Open champion, a new champion of this first of the Grand Slam events of 2008. It's long. He didn't miss many of those against Rafael Nadal.
No, but another good first serve from him as he slid it wide, sliding away from Djokovic, and that was a play he used very successfully against Nadal. That serve there in the deuce court.
First extended rally, and Djokovic has a break point. 38th ranked in the world coming into Melbourne, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. If he wins tonight, he'll leap all the way to the number 9 ranked player in the world. Novak Djokovic grabs the early break. Nole, his nickname, and mother, father, and 2 brothers in the cheering section with a N-O-L-E, Nole. Pam Shriver, the Hall of Famer, joins us downstairs.
Well, Dick, there's something electric about a final, particularly a nighttime final. This crowd is already on fire, and I got to tell you a funny moment. Right before they came out on the court, they were interviewed by the host broadcaster. Todd Woodbridge did the interview. He asked Tsonga this long, drawn-out question about how excited he was to be in this final, winning 6 straight matches and the win over Nadal and all this stuff. And Tsonga just looked at him and said, "Yes, I'm very excited." And the crowd laughed. They played it through the stadium. The crowd fell even more in love with this young Frenchman who's just taken Australia by storm the last 2 weeks.
Thank you, Pam. Well, Cassius Clay to become Muhammad Ali when he was 22, same age as Tsonga, defeated Sonny Liston for the heavyweight championship. And of course, he said, "I'm going to shock the world," and Ali certainly did that. No predictions from Tsonga other than the fact I've got 2 arms, 2 legs, so does he, and we're both going to be on the court. That's his prediction.
His tennis shocked the world against Nadal.
His personality is not nearly as noisy as his game, is it?
No.
Very soft-spoken guy,
and with an infectious smile.
Just humbled by everything that's happened to him. Yannick Noah loves what's happening. He's not here, but he's been hearing all about it. He says it's refreshing, it's beautiful.
Noah, the last Frenchman to win a Grand Slam. That was in '83 in Paris, the French Open champion, as Djokovic throws in his first ace. And the challenge, first of the challenges from Tsonga. He thought it was long. Good challenge.
People yelling, "Come on, Ali."
That backhand.
Well, that to me is what Tsonga's big problem is against Djokovic. If he leaves too many balls short like that, this man will make him pay. He can hurt you off both wings. and he plays an excellent transition game. A superb hard-court record last year, including a couple of big Masters Series titles, and of course, the final run in New York at the U.S. Open, losing to Federer there.
In fact, those 43 hard-court wins, only one less than the leader last year, Roger Federer.
As big as these two serve, their second serves have left them vulnerable. And that will be such an important part of this match. They're both only winning about half their second serve points. They're both facing huge returners.
Djokovic yet to get in a first serve in his game. And when he does, excellent result. Well, the parents of both men are here. Watch Djokovic deliver that forehand into the open court. You well know they own a pizzeria and pancake house in the mountains of Serbia, ski country. And she cooked him pancakes last night, so he got a home cooked meal.
He's carbo loaded, I guess. Well, not only is this a feeling out process for the fact that they're both tight, which we can see playing in a, each going for their first major title, but they've also never played each other. So they're feeling each other out. And that was a bad forehand there as Djokovic really pulled off that ball.
And an early chance for Tsonga to get back on course. Lots of extraneous cheering. I wonder if that was the signal Tsonga was giving to the crowd.
Well, they're all cheering for this guy. Wow.
Neither man able to hold serve to open this championship final.
See if Tsonga will relax. As I said, he's only been broken 8 times this whole tournament. 5 of them were in that first round against Murray. He's already been broken here.
Well, both players playing a very nervous opening game on serve, and I think if Tsonga can play a good, solid game here and get some momentum in the first set, as you see Didier, his dad, looking on. Djokovic, but this crowd will firmly get behind Tsonga, and that could rattle Djokovic. We saw that in the previous match against Federer, and Djokovic was sort of annoyed with the crowd for, of all things, wanting Roger Federer to win a set and get back into it. I mean, come on.
15,000 at Rod Laver Arena, roof open on a beautiful summer's night. Tsonga's father, a great athlete. In his own youth, he was rated the top handball player of handball, much like lacrosse. He played indoors without the rackets in all of Africa. He's from the Congo, went to Le Mans, France. Education, he's a chemistry professor. And has a younger son that apparently is an outstanding basketball player at the Sports Institute in Paris.
That's loosening up a little bit there.
That's the kind of shot making that froze Rafael Nadal. Created the unbelievable experience for Nadal.
Why do I get the feeling that this is going to be good? There's a lot of energy in this stadium already after 9 minutes of play.
never won a tour title, Tsonga. Injuries being a part of that for 2 years, sidelining him. Can he make his first tournament win, a Grand Slam? He holds. It's 2-1 underway in Melbourne, the 2008 Australian Open Championship.
It's just an honor for me to be compared with him. My father was at the fight at Kinshasa, and he took some photos, so I have some souvenirs. Maybe I think I have the same tennis as his box.
The rumble and the jungle in Zaire. His father in '74. He was named the top handball player in Africa that year, '74, and was at ringside. And here's a son that has that resemblance and honored that his nickname's Ali. Didier. His wife Evelyn, a teacher, also there with him. Flying in, they joked about the fact with Jo-Wilfried earlier in the year, saying, well, if you get to the finals, the Australian, there's mom, Evelyn, to the right of Didier, then we'll come over and watch you in Australia in the finals. Here it's all come true. It appears, Patrick, that both men are settling in.
Yep, Djokovic starting to find the range a little more on the forehand. The tendency to smother it a bit when he's a little bit nervous. As sort of looked up to his box after he dumped serve, and that little smother move with his racket and after the poor swing he hit. He seems to be finding his rhythm.
His first double fault to 30-15 as we welcome you in the East, 3 o'clock in the morning. What's it? 4 o'clock now in the morning, 1 a.m. on the West Coast. The men's final, the Australian Open, Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne, Australia. Two young men seeking their first major championship. Novak Djokovic, the server, and Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. Shaking his head.
He mesmerized Nadal with shots like this the other night, and he puts this together beautifully, gets in. There's plenty of spin under that volley, and on this surface, which is new this year, and it takes the spin, it takes a lot of bite. So if you slice it, hit it short, it will die.
6 matches. Tsonga with a 190 net points won. That's unusual in the men's game these days. He's not afraid to come forward.
Another unforced error off the forehand wing. That's 7 unforced already from Djokovic.
Tsonga, a point for a 3-1 lead.
4 of those unforced from Djokovic are coming off his forehand. So Tsonga would do well to just keep going there. He hasn't found his forehand yet. That's his big shot.
They had trouble early against Federer, but straightened things out late in the first set. And he was able to serve like that on big points throughout the match in excusing the world's #1 2 nights ago.
Well, what's so effective about his serve is the precision. I mean, that thing is right on the line, and he can hit it to any corner of the box with the same toss. Very tough to pick it up, to read it for the return. called by the linesperson.
Yes, it was. He called, the linesperson called it good.
Djokovic is challenging the ball on the
And so
right
Djokovic is going to
side.
challenge.
The ball's called out.
It was overruled by the chair umpire immediately. That was definitely clearly wrong. Bad miss by the linesperson there.
And right below the chair, Carlos Ramos, Portuguese umpire, with a correct overrule. And Tsonga with another break point. Those of you who are joining us and perhaps out of curiosity have not seen these two men before, you'll note that Djokovic likes to dribble. Twice he's hit the baseline.
Was for 3-1 Tsonga.
Djokovic flirting with being broken, hit the baseline twice early in that exchange. Finally the winner, back to deuce.
It's the emotion of a fourth set, not the fourth game.
Long.
Tsonga looking up to the chair umpire for confirmation. That was way out.
He's talking about the serve, I think.
Oh, he thought the serve was wide?
Too late to challenge that. Let's just see. Shot spot.
Yep. It was wide. Oh, no. We saw Djokovic make a mess out of a few of those against Federer.
We saw it on Ivanovic, the Serbian woman who got to the final yesterday.
So it's a serve thing? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, it's a serve play. And it didn't work against Sharapova yesterday either. It's like a nervous shot that they both use. Not always well.
Third deuce. Second ace.
Well, Djokovic, I think, will continue to use it, though. It's a regular part of his arsenal. And that one looked like it did catch the line. Normally, Mary, you're right. When he tries to use it early in the point is a bad sign for him. Sometimes after long rallies, when he's got his opponents out of position, that's a good time to play the drop shot.
Excellent save by Novak Djokovic. Escaped 2 break points.
And it's 2-all. No lay, the fans of the serve chant.
Chant sounded a lot like Ali.
Yeah, I think there's more Ali than no lay out there.
I think a little bit of both, actually.
Yeah, one starts to chant and the others join in with a counterpoint.
It's a first final without Federer and Nadal in a few years, but I don't think they mind.
I was thinking the same thing, Patrick. The smooth genius Federer, the world's best, that's not here, and the muscular, powerful, ripping ground shots of Nadal. They're not in Melbourne, but these two young guys are putting on a highly entertaining show. Breathing a new life into the men's game.
He's so big and so strong. He could just hold the center of the court so well.
And then he can do this, Mary, out of just a normal shot. He can unload off both wings. And if he can maintain himself physically and stay with Djokovic, he's going to have a heck of a chance here.
You know, he's always been big. He hasn't been strong, though, for long. He had all those injuries, the abdominal problems and the shoulder problems, the back problems, and he has dedicated himself to getting his core much stronger. He travels with a physical trainer, and he has really improved that side, and that's why he's been healthy recently.
He was, last year here at the Australian, he was downright doughy compared to what he looks like now. And his coach, Eric Vinogradsky, says he always had a powerful serve, but it kind of broke down his body. Now he's fit enough to handle all the energy he puts in every time.
We saw that in the opening round last year here, Mary, when he played Andy Roddick. Won a long first set tiebreak.
Longest ever here.
Yeah, 2018, and then he lost a tight second set and then just went away physically. He just didn't have the fitness to hang in a long match. But boy, from 217 in the world a year ago to where he is now, it's just a phenomenal effort.
Those incredible pickup volleys against Nadal work, but not that time.
Well, Djokovic hits the ball a little cleaner than Nadal, particularly off the return. He gets a little flatter, a little more mustard on it. So those are going to be difficult balls to handle. And Djokovic has such tremendous reach on the return, very similar to Federer in that way. He can flatten out his returns. There's another one.
It's long and a game point for Tsonga. Just to underline what Pam Shriver indicated, in 2003, Tsonga was the #2 junior in the world, second to Marcus Baghdatis, and he won the U.S. Open Juniors, did Tsonga. Then in 2004, herniated disc, kept him out for 4 or 5 months, and then in 05 and 06, he had a right shoulder and back and abdominal injury, so really took him out of heavy competition for 2 years. Last year, appeared at the Australian and then went out on the Challenger circuit and won 4 events there. His best with the big guys was a semifinal at Lyon. And here he is, the talk of the Australian Open.
The French can play some ill-advised drop shots as well. We just found out.
Only his 5th Grand Slam appearance, only 5. Tsonga holds. They're on serve. Exciting start to this Australian Open final. Down under with some overhead action. This wonderful 2 weeks of championship tennis, the Australian Open 2008, proudly presented by Franklin Templeton Investments. And out on Garden Square here in the first set, you see the crowd that's gathered over the big screen. In fact, it was so large they can get in for about $25 a ground pass for the final to join and have some fun and libation or two and watch tennis. Well, it was so large out there, the crowd, that they've moved many of them over to Vodafone, the other covered stadium here in Melbourne Park, just to eliminate the conditions where you can hardly move. Novak Djokovic, 2-3, opening set.
Very close. Chair umpire said very close.
Djokovic said out. He said very close.
He forgot to turn his mic off.
So kind of the teasing Djokovic. You want to challenge?
Well, normally when they talk to the player,
he is going to challenge.
They turn off the mic. And he forgot to turn it off.
Which was very close.
Well done.
Senor Ramos enjoying the moment.
It was very close.
Guess he's infected by the emotion of these guys too.
It's so,
everybody's in on it.
It's so fresh.
It is, isn't it?
It's just magnificent.
My pass. The serve. My pass. The serve.
Now this crowd in a giggly mood. A couple of blood calls. Slider from Djokovic works. Father of Novak Djokovic, a champion athlete himself, a professional skier. Skiing is really the sport of the family, but across from their lodge and restaurant in Serbia, they built some tennis courts when Djokovic was 3 years old. Took a racket, and they've not been able to wrest it away from him since.
I don't want to be wrested away from anyone in the family. See his two brothers there.
They're players as well, and the youngest one on the far right, they say, is perhaps the most naturally talented of the three. Middle brother played in the juniors, lost in the first round here.
Gee, does Novak wear Adidas?
Patient rally.
Well, that time the drop shot worked, but still pretty impressive court coverage from the big guy here to get to this ball. And that doesn't win him that point, but that could win him some points down the road in this match. To display that kind of speed, let your opponent know that you can track just about anything down. What an athlete.
And the ace for Djokovic. Runs the score to 3-all in the opening set. Roger Rashid, who was the coach and trainer of Leighton Hewitt for several years, called this man the best athlete he's ever seen on a tennis court. A little strong, but that's how some feel. One does get caught up in the law of recency.
That's true.
But isn't it great to watch two young men who are so athletically skilled. There's Eric Winogradsky, a former ATP player on tour for more than 10 years. Tsonga's coach for 5 years.
And I spoke to Eric before the match. They actually warmed up at noon today for a 7:30 start. Did a lot of gym work before and after.
Well, they've obviously put the time in on the court and in the gym and training, but what I love about what Winogradsky's done is he's kept his guys so calm. He's helped keep them composed out there. Remember that first set when he just played brilliantly against Nadal and the whole crowd was going crazy, and Tsonga would just sort of looked up at the crowd, shook his head. His coach sat there very calmly. A little bit of trouble here for Tsonga at 15:30, missing an easy forehand. Not winning as many cheap points with the first serve, but there's one.
There's a big first serve. His first ace.
And that one measured at 130 miles an hour. Tsonga has the fastest serve in the championship, 138.
Wow. And another.
134. I mean, he's got that ability like a great pitcher to just reach back when he needs it and put a little extra gas on the delivery.
Precisely planting that forehand in the corner. And here we are, folks. 3-all. Deuce, middle of the opening set of this championship. And how big are these points coming up?
Victoria, Australia, second largest city in Australia, 3.7 million total population of this country, 21 million. Beautiful skyline. We're just a quarter of a mile from the heart of the city as you look down into the open roof of Rod Laver Arena, 15,000 strong on this championship Sunday night, live at almost 8:30 in the evening down under. And Novak Djokovic serves 3-4 opening set. 2 early breaks and then encore sets.
Well, if you were scoring this as if it were a fight and we're in the 4th or 5th round, who's the leader?
Slight edge to Tsonga. He's handling it better so far. Mentally. Djokovic still sort of talking to himself, looking up at his box.
He missed on that forehand. A little too much action on it. It cut out.
Djokovic was in a similar mood in the opening set against Federer, though, as well. As you see his coach, Marian Vajda, also a very solid tour player for a number of years.
30-15.
That is a massive forehand. I mean, that's just, you know, we always talk about Djokovic's forehand. I think he'd do well to stay away from Tsonga's side over there as much as he can.
Well, Tsonga has that ability to sort of loop the forehand and play a safe shot, and then with basically the same swing, just say, I'm just going to unload.
And it's a nice compact swing.
It is.
So, it, you know, for a big guy, he's got nice short strokes. It's why I think he's been able to pull it together so well.
There's not a lot that can go wrong with his strokes.
Fourth ace for Djokovic. Tsonga going to challenge. He pointed to the sky, and that's the signal.
No, he's asking him about how much time Djokovic is taking in between points.
Ah. And he does take a lot of time because sometimes he'll bounce the ball 20 times
the bigger
or more.
the point, the more he bounces. I'm actually surprised that more players don't do that early in the match against Djokovic. Go up to the umpire, let him know that you're paying attention to how much time Djokovic is taking. And that time it's Tsonga who's able to get on top of the baseline and dictate the rally with two huge forehands.
Typhoon Tsonga against the tsunami serve.
You know, Tsonga has a lot of experience around him here. His coach played here in 90 and 89, got to the second round. Cedric Pioline, former Grand Slam finalist, flew in also over the weekend. And, of course, Guy Forget is the Davis Cup captain. You know that those guys would have talked to Tsonga about just that, getting on Djokovic when he started to take too much time.
That's Pioline in the white cap, sitting next to his coach.
The last French player to make a final, a male player. Was Pioline, yeah. Won the U.S. Open.
And the U.S. Open, yeah.
Again, Djokovic on a big point comes up with a solid serve, and the ace is his fifth. There's Pioline. It's 4-all.
These Aussie fans are so wonderful.
Each year they come here, sell out record crowds, as it was again this year. Their own not performing well at all. They haven't had a men's champion in 32 years, a women's champion in 34 years, but they find a reason to cheer, and lustily. And they've adopted Anna Ivanovic on the women's side, the Serb, a countrywoman of this man, and tonight it appears they're embracing Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. Good on him. Third ace for Tsonga.
And this court, as I've been talking about all tournament, really takes the slice. So that serve is so effective for the right-hander, both in the deuce court and then this one. Watch how much this one bends. Look how it curves away from the returner, using the court to the advantage. Both players have been doing that well on serve. There's another one.
So Tsonga with a couple of aces back-to-back. He and Djokovic with 5 apiece. They're on serve. Djokovic to stay in the set when we come back. welcome back to our continuing live coverage of the 2008 Australian Open, the finale tonight. Men's Championship on a beautiful evening, the open roof of Rod Laver Arena. Two young, talented lions at work here on the major court in Melbourne Park. Number 3 seed Novak Djokovic serving at 4-5 against the 38th ranked player in the world, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. Semifinal, Tsonga KO'd Nadal, while Djokovic the next night would excuse number 1 Roger Federer. There's the box of Novak Djokovic, and there was a stir there a couple of changeovers ago, whether or not they were complaining about something fans around them. Mama Djokovic stating her case. First point, Tsonga at 4-5.
Well, there's some good news and bad news on the Djokovic serve. We've seen the bad news these last 2 points. As we look at his serve direction, the aces are the red dots. He's moving around well. But look at the second serves. The black dots too short, and that's allowing Tsonga to step in and attack it. And Djokovic has won only 4 of 13 points when he's had to hit a second serve, way below his normal percentage.
And in trouble here. His opponent just 2 points from owning the first set. Oh. And off the net cord long. What an athletic save in that point from Tsonga's end. So strong with that forehand, he ripped it off the net cord, and it goes all the way through the court long.
And Djokovic got a little bit of a break with that because he absolutely rocked that forehand.
Federation Square cheering that forehand that gives Jo-Wilfried Tsonga a set point.
30-14.
Defense to offense and a big winner. Dad, love that.
All right, well, so we love this guy.
Thank you.
Well, we like his son, too, but he's unbelievable.
Set to Tsonga.
Are you kidding? A right hook.
Another right. Jo-Wilfried Tsonga sensationally takes the opening set.
What's up, everybody?
Great athletes, as was Didier Tsonga, know how to fight. And his son connected for the opening set. 2 points where he was on defense, and he was able to turn it on one shot into winners from 30-all to take the set at 6-4. High-level, entertaining tennis. Mama.
Evelyn.
With the glasses, Evelyn on the far left.
There's a great thing. His father had always wanted to visit Australia. So, when the opportunity arose this year, he decided to. Can you imagine your first trip to a place you've always wanted to go to, and you get to see this on your first night?
Hit those 2 shots to win the first set.
Take a seat, please.
What a running topspin lob.
Have a seat for now, please. Thank you.
Yeah, so much for the thought that Tsonga being patted on the back and told how great he's been the last couple of days might impact him coming in here tonight, start to swallow his own medicine. He certainly produced some terrific stuff. Meanwhile, Novak Djokovic has lost the first set of this championship after 6 straight matches where he's controlled all 3 games.
And there's problems over by the Djokovic family box because the fans are cheering so hard around them for this guy. And they've complained about it. Good luck trying to calm down these people.
Well, you see some security still sitting on the steps there. That's the Djokovic box. There's a bunch of French fans just above them. You can see the red, white, and blue of the French flag.
Well, the interest very high in this match in Melbourne, as you can well imagine. But in Paris, L'Equipe, the top newspaper, sports newspaper there for 4 straight days, Tsonga on the front page. That's never happened to anyone other than a soccer star, a football star in France. And at the last minute, French television scrambling to get rights for the live telecast starting at 9:30 in the morning, Sunday morning in Paris. And it's the first time other than their own championship, the French Open at Roland Garros, that a tennis match is being shown on live free television in France. Talk about a skyrocketing star, this young guy. And a hole to start the second set. Let's go down to Pam Schreiber.
Yeah, the Djokovic box has been making official complaints about the French group that's sitting. It's sort of bad sitting structure, really, because you have a bunch of Tsonga people with Tsonga written on their forehead sitting right behind the Djokovic family. It's not a very good situation. Security guard got in the middle of the French fans, started to talk to them. There was a woman with Tsonga written on her forehead that started to cry. So evidently the security guard has spoken very clearly about keeping themselves under control, sitting right behind the family. But again, they shouldn't have been seated there in the first place because that's all in the players section.
So the Djokovic family has bad seats? They're hanging right over the court, and they've got bad seats.
But old number 3's in charge there. He's on the aisle ready to make sure that order is served. Big service game for
Huge.
Djokovic.
Yeah, the momentum is slipping away quickly if he gets broken here. We saw what Tsonga can do in the semifinals against Nadal. He just ran away with it once he got the momentum going. Broke a string there. And he still wins the point. And Djokovic heard that. So if I heard it, you know he heard it, and he just lost his concentration.
He's also lost so many points when he's missed that first serve. Now down to 27%. We talked about it at the beginning of the match, and he's just going to have to do much better than that.
And part of Novak's problem is he is hearing everything. He's hearing the crowd. He visually saw the group and complained to his family. So I think that's what got the ball rolling to make the official complaint from the family.
I don't know. Are they officially complaining that they're just fans, or did they say something? I mean, if they're just fans, so what?
Well, I think there's some taunting going back and forth.
Okay, well, that's different.
But it's clearly the sign of an unsettled mind.
Yes, absolutely. And the last thing he should be worried about is that, meaning Djokovic.
He's got enough problems.
Yeah, this guy.
Back to your point, Mary Carrillo, about the second serve percentage being so low. Prior to this match, he was 51% second serves.
Well, that's not, you know, that he got away with it until tonight.
Oh, wow, that missed the doubles line.
Well, he's rattled now. Miss a shot like that badly.
Against Federer in these situations, he tried to serve in that ad court wide and was very effective. Goes up the middle and earns a most important point to 30-all.
And the thing about it is, you know, Djokovic made himself famous not only for his tennis in the last year, but the impersonations he does on the court of Nadal, of Sharapova. He's used to fans liking him. He's used to feeling that.
If he's going to be a good Davis Cup player, he better get used to the anti.
Good ace for Djokovic is his 6th of the match.
And that sliding serve out wide, really cutting away.
He's trying so hard to find the backhand side of Tsonga, isn't he?
For Djokovic, it's 1-all. And we have 15,000 at Rod Laver, another 3,000-4,000 on the grounds at Melbourne Park. This is Federation Park, downtown Melbourne. And look at the hundreds out there on this beautiful summer's night watching this championship final. A lot of young people. Of course, that's been a theme throughout these 2 weeks. You see so many young fans, and these two players have captivated their interest.
Such an easy delivery from Tsonga. Nothing can really go wrong with his delivery. Just being 6'2" helps, but perfect technique, again sliding away. First serve percentage so far for Tsonga has been outstanding, 68% for the match.
Tsonga stops play. He's going to challenge. Thought the call was out on his baseline.
A little dangerous, because if he's wrong, he loses a point, and he was in the middle of a 50-50 rally right there.
And that's where players make most of their errors, the ball down at their feet.
Exactly right.
Tsonga has 2 challenges remaining.
3 wrong challenges, incorrect challenges per set, so he has 2 left. All the angles are covered.
Quite a shot.
Yeah, documenting
Is he allowed to be there?
2008 Open Championship. He is for now.
There's Tsonga approaching. He has brightened the men's side by that kind of play. He's thinking ahead. Whenever he gets a chance to come forward, he's leaping at the opportunity. Easy hold for Tsonga. He leads by a set on serve in the second. The Garden State, the Garden City of Australia, Melbourne. 20% of the city's acreage is covered in beautiful parks, and many of us on our 2 weeks have enjoyed our strolls and strong walks through the Fitzroy Gardens and the like. And this, the tennis garden, Melbourne Park, Rod Laver Arena. 1-2. Djokovic, second set, down a set. Forehand winner for Tsonga.
Djokovic came into this final having not dropped a set in the championships, and when he's won the first set throughout his career, 35-2. And a much different story when he loses that opening set.
Just his body language is negative, and you never see that from Novak.
No. He's always on the verge of cocky, isn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah, he's admitted that. He says, I play with confidence. Mind you, I'm not arrogant. That's what he said.
Okay.
Good combination here from Djokovic, able to get in behind a good approach. Excellent position at net.
A little more conviction behind that volley. A couple of them in this match have not had any pop on them, and Tsonga has taken advantage.
Novak Djokovic's father is still in his seat, but his mom and the youngest of the Djokovic kids, Jordy, they left on that last changeover, and you never see them leave. So there's Marco, who played in the juniors here, still around.
Looks as if we've also added security in that aisle.
That's one of the Australian Open officials there, and talking to a gentleman who's part of the Djokovic camp there. Obviously still plenty of tension around that area.
A key save for Djokovic out of love 30.
Tsonga thought he heard a let. That's what he's talking to the chair umpire about. A no call.
It's 2-all.
By far, that last game was the worst concentration of the match for Tsonga. He was eyes wandering a lot. He was talking to himself, very animated. We'll see how he serves this game.
long.
Tsonga just playing with plenty of composure throughout his first final ever. Never mind his first slam final.
What a time, not only for the Tsonga family in France, but for Serbia. With Ana Ivanovic to the finals yesterday. Maria Sharapova defeated her. Another from Belgrade, Jelena Jankovic, to the semifinals.
Some real indecision from Tsonga these last two games. Kind of stopped moving his feet, a little uncertain about what he wants to do. Some nice big serves to right that for him.
That looked like it might have been wide, and Djokovic is going to challenge.
Right center service line. Ball's called good.
Yep.
Second serve.
At 15-all second serve.
Djokovic doesn't do enough with that second serve, and he's complaining to the chair umpire, but he won that challenge. He's still showing his frustration.
Execution.
Djokovic is so quick and such good balance on the run, using that left foot to get himself out there in position and keep his balance, and snaps off the two-hander. Tsonga showing the ability to, even when the rest of his game struggles at times, he's able to reach back for that big delivery when he needs it.
Another spirited rally.
Two all and deuce here in the second set. Tsonga with a lead. Djokovic just 20. Tsonga 22.
Another big, heavy delivery. Djokovic just can't get enough behind it, and Tsonga rips another forehand winner. 132 miles an hour that last serve.
And the hold. On serve, 3-2 in the second.
Into the Djokovic box, mother and father, and Coach Vida talking with Australian officials, and Djokovic still, Papa Djokovic still not very happy at whatever's transpired with the French fans behind. Back to the action where Novak Djokovic on the service line at 2-3, second set. Tsonga, the first set. Dramatic final 2 points to win at 6-4.
just think the whole Djokovic family has been cranky since they heard the crowd so much behind Tsonga. The signs are amazing. We've got Sizzling Tsonga, Tsonga is Stronga, LA Tsonga, King Tsonga, Typhoon Tsonga, and Super Tsonga. And there's more.
Sing a Tsonga.
A couple of days ago, you see the N-O-L-E, the L guy was not standing up, and his mom started yelling at him. Where the L are you? I'm not sure she said that, but they are trying to give a little more energy to their boy.
Well, they could all use a little positive energy.
Easy hold here by Djokovic would help. Djokovic, his first love hold. It's 3-all. We're in Melbourne, Australia, and Franklin Templeton Investments proudly presents the finals of the 2008 Australian Open Championship. You see temperatures around the world, and here in Australia, southeastern coast of this country, a beautiful day, temperature up into the low 80s, low humidity today. Perfect night for tennis. And under the open roof, these two young men in quest of this major championship. It will be the first for the winner. As you say, Gustavo Kuerten in '97 in Paris, and Wieland are also in Paris, the two men who won their first tour title as a Grand Slam championship, both on the clay, the Terrebat 2 of Paris. And Tsonga trying to become the third.
Boy, Tsonga just sets himself up and loads up with the legs. And then just explodes on it. Watch him load up with the legs right here. And then he sits into it and just uncoils on the forehand.
Where do you rank that forehand?
Boy, it's going up the list fast, Dick. He's got double the amount of winners on the forehand wing than Djokovic, 10-5.
Much better energy now from Djokovic.
And his box.
And his box. Just better body language all around. This is how he normally looks out there.
Well, he might be getting it together, Mary, just in time, because he's got to make his move now.
.15:30 opening for Djokovic.
Fought that off. How did he get that ball back for a winner?
Fought off a 132-mile-an-hour serve into his own body.
And a couple of break points for the lead in the second set. That was Federer-like.
First break point since the first game of the match.
Please.
The break for Djokovic. He has the lead, 4-3, second set. Yeah, there for Jo-Wilfried Tsonga out on Federation Square. What a crowd.
You've got to understand, when people always say the Australian Open should be moved to later in the year and all that stuff, they don't get the fact that this is like Labor Day weekend for the U.S. Open. It's a huge holiday weekend here. Australia Day was yesterday. Huge firework display here in Melbourne last night. I mean, these people do not want to see the Australian Open moved anywhere, anytime soon.
Oh, no, it's also the end of summer here. So exactly, Mary, and all the kids are just getting ready to go back to school. And that's why we have so many kids out here at this tournament.
Exactly.
Now Novak Djokovic with the lead, 4-3 second set. Can he consolidate? Take it to 5-3 against Tsonga. Hit even in this match.
Is hoping, it seems, that Djokovic loses this game instead of trying to win it himself. Not sure that's going to work. He's got to go back to what he does best. Maybe he will get help from Djokovic.
It's his second double.
Is this a time to use a rope-a-dope? Not sure.
And, you know, the tension can play tricks on you. I have little doubt, though, Mary, that if he sees something to hit, he's going to take a shot at it.
We know his dad wants him to.
More concern on the face of Papa Didier. His son down a break here in the second set after owning the first 6-4.
Where he's standing so far behind the baseline, and he's still able to generate that kind of pace with an effortless swing. First serve deserting Djokovic in this game.
Got away with a free point on that kicker.
Didn't quite take that little extra stutter step that he needed there, Tsonga, to play that kicker.
See the time of the match, hour 22 minutes.
unleashed a couple of big forehands here, but give Djokovic credit. He stayed in the rally, and this certainly was one he'd like to have back.
Point for 5-3. Another missed first serve. Well, they didn't serve that well in that game, but able to hold. And now the pressure falls on Tsonga to stay in the second set.
4 unforced errors in that last game from Tsonga.
He's looking a little flat with the footwork now. Well, if the nerves are getting to him, maybe a little bit of fatigue, just losing focus for a few minutes here, really costing him.
Started 3 service games ago, and he's so quick between serves. He's taking no time. Such a contrast. When Djokovic serves, there's like 15 to 20 bounces. There's the dad up on the concourse level. But when Tsonga serves, there's like 1 quick bounce, and then he goes.
Djokovic in this game just 2 points from leveling the match. Now game point Tsonga. Novak Djokovic will serve for 1 set all when we return to Melbourne. Back to Melbourne, Rod Laver Arena. This crowd incredibly enthused over the play of these 2 young stars, Novak Djokovic, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, and it's Djokovic, number 3 seed and the favorite to win this championship, serving for 1 set all at 5-4. No matter which player they're cheering, they are cheering raucously at Rod Laver tonight.
Well, he had no first serves in the last game and got away with it. Came up with the beauty there.
The good news, though, for for Djokovic, Mary, is that he's doing a much better job on his second serve now. So that hasn't hurt him as much as it did in the opening set. He's only lost 3 points when he's had to hit a second serve, 10 of 13. Tsonga hasn't been able to make him pay there, as he did in the opening set.
And with that miss from Tsonga, Djokovic 3 set points. And he slides one on the sideline for an ace. And they will play best 2 of 3 for the Australian Open title.
On a beautiful summer night in Melbourne, Australia. Almost an hour and a half of tennis. Pretty intriguing stuff. 1 set all for the Australian Open Men's Championship. Chris Fowler rejoined by Darren Cahill, boy, a scintillating end to that first set. Tsonga had all the momentum, and it was a continuation of the Nadal match there.
How was that crowd after those 2 points from 30-all when Tsonga played 2 incredible shots to win that opening set? I've never heard the crowd that loud, and I've been here for Pat Cash, Mats Wilander tennis finals here at the Australian Open. That crowd went absolutely off. We saw the defensive game again of Tsonga, and then some spectacular stuff as well, and sort of baited him to come in.
Ridiculous counter-punching from way behind the court, and then the lob winner at set point. Running away from the court at an angle.
So all the momentum going with Tsonga until 3-all in the second set. Tsonga serving first point, and Djokovic does a good job to stay in this point. This was a big swing. Bad drop shot from Tsonga, and have a look at Djokovic here. This is the first time we saw some real positive energy from Djokovic in the match, apart from when he broke serve in the first game. So that was a big swing.
He survived a big forehand by Tsonga in that game, steadied the course and got the break and closed it out with a love hold. Now, going forward, the guy that's won the second set has won the last 15 Australian Open men's titles. Either the guy goes up 2 sets or he turns momentum. So whatever that means, one thing we've noticed about Tsonga, he's not getting in very much compared to his previous matches, not getting in very successfully. Can he win from the back of the court tonight?
Well, I don't think so now. After Djokovic won that second set, the odds would favour unless Tsonga starts to take more risk and come in on the forehand side. I think he made a couple of wrong shot selections there as well. He had a chance in one of those games to hit the forehand up the line and come on in. I think now is the time to be a little more aggressive. He's still mixing up the pace well, but he's got to go to Djokovic and bring everything he has to win this set.
Tsonga's had a comfort break and a change of shirt. He'll start the third set serving. We go back to Dick, Patrick, and Mary.
All right, thank you, Chris. So 2 out of 3 now for the title. Djokovic drawing even as Tsonga a little lull in his level of play late in that second set.
There's a great Tsonga by Cyndi Lauper. It's called Hot Gets a Little Cold. And that's kind of what's happened to the Frenchman. It's not about tennis.
I thought you were going to bring out little girls just want to have fun. You know? That was yesterday.
Djokovic there for smacking the ball in the net after he misses this volley.
Well, they're looking for a reason to get all over him, aren't they? That was pretty minor stuff.
Yeah. Jo-Wilfried Tsonga endeavoring to get off on the right foot here to open this third set. And a solid hold at low.
You know, these Aussie fans have decided that they really like this guy. Not only his all-court game, which of course Aussies would like, but just the way he carries himself. You know, how it's like what Darren Cahill was saying, how humble he was after he scored his huge win against Rafa Nadal. This is the kind of guy who wins matches and takes his shirt off and preens out on the court. And obviously, the Aussies would like this kind of a man more, the way he comports himself.
And that combined with the international impulse to cheer for the underdog. And here's Jo-Wilfried Tsonga out of nowhere. He was nearly ranked in the 200s only a year ago, and here he is down to 38, playing in his first major final.
Didn't help Mary the other night after Djokovic upset Federer when he was doing his interview on court. Jim Courier, who's down here working for Channel 7, the Australian network. And when Djokovic said, yes, I'm very proud of myself, there's a little, more than a little, a big murmur from the crowd. And maybe that's something that gets a little lost in the translation, but it comes across as arrogance. And the Australians don't really appreciate that in their athletes.
So Djokovic answers Tsonga's love hold to start this third set with one of his own.
You know, you think about arrogance, you think about all the great Australian champions, Rosewall, Laver, Hogue, Emerson, Court, Goolagong. Did they all have an ounce of arrogance between them?
No. That's just right, Debbie.
Just look at their last two great players on the men's side. They love Patrick Rafter. They don't like Leighton Hewitt that much.
Bump in the road for Tsonga early in the third. Love 30.
His second serve is starting to get beat up a little bit by Djokovic, who's really starting to press his court positioning advantage. And Tsonga's getting caught on his heels a little too often now.
He's got to go back to that ollie-like footwork that has held up so well for him these 2 weeks. That explosiveness he has. Sudden burst of power from his feet and his hands. Also reminiscent of the young Cassius Clay. Djokovic looks much fresher, doesn't he?
And his methodical play is starting to wear down Tsonga. Again, stepping inside the court. That was a ball he handled beautifully against Federer, the slice backhand. So he's had plenty of practice seeing that shot. Now he's got a little more of a confident stride about him.
Lethal from that backhand wing. 2 chances for the early lead. Third set.
That was a miss from Djokovic, but it was the kind of point he wants now. Another solid return, and he had Tsonga behind the baseline. Tsonga desperately needs some free points with the first serve now.
Yes. He knocks away 2 break points and back to deuce.
9th ace. Well, Tsonga out of nowhere to make it to the finals. Djokovic has been creeping ever closer in his major competition. Last 4 Grand Slam events. He's made it to the semis, finals at the U.S. Open, and now the finals here in Australia. His 3rd break point.
third. Third set all. Djokovic with the early break and the 2-1 lead.
A huge return from Djokovic on that break point. It was a big first serve from Tsonga. And look, he was leaning down the middle, Djokovic, but he was still able to get his racket out. And once the rally started going, it ended up being an extended rally. The edge goes to Djokovic, but just an outstanding return there off a big Tsonga first serve.
Now to secure the lead, Djokovic on the line. As you watch these two young athletes, Djokovic at 20 and Tsonga 22, I mean, the power of their shot making and the quickness of their movement. Both men very fast on the court.
And Djokovic is much more alert right now. He's really jumping on anything he can hit.
It's hard to say if Tsonga has, it's all finally caught up with Tsonga and he's physically tired, but right now he seems mentally tired.
Seems both to me, Mary. He may find a second win.
11 straight service points won by Djokovic, and he's going to challenge this call. Painted the line.
Well, Djokovic is smart here. You know, you could make the argument that he should win the point outright there, but I think he's smart to let it go because the last thing he needs is to get any more of the crowd against him, and that would probably serve to do that.
Yeah, point well taken. Yeah, they're ready to get on his back.
And that's a sign of Djokovic's maturity. You just said it, Dick. He's 20. He's younger than Tsonga, but he's been in this situation before, and he realizes that he's got the momentum on his side right now. Just keep it going. Keep the crowd out of it. Keep the momentum on your side.
Patrick, the only way he's going to turn more of the crowd against him is if the Serbs start to go against him, because that's really all that's for him right now.
It's the first point that Djokovic has lost on his serve since back at 4-3 30 all in the second set. So he had quite a run of domination on serve. First point he's lost in this set on his serve.
Last night at the Melbourne Cricket Club, 35,000 fans listened to Sting and the rest of the police rock it.
He knows how to put on a show, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's enjoying this show, too.
No indication for whom he's rooting. And the ace by Djokovic, his 9th of the match, does secure that service break, and he leads 3-1. Well, Tsonga didn't make any promises, but I can't help but think back to another Joe Willie nearly 40 years ago. Joe Willie Namath of the New York Jets before Super Bowl III. And the promise that his Jets would beat the Colts, 18-point underdogs.
I guarantee you, no, that's not this guy at all.
No, not at all.
Hey, you got to remind a Baltimorean about that, Dick? Thanks a lot.
Well, we're only a Sunday away from another great Super Bowl challenge. And now it's Djokovic all cylinders firing.
Well, Djokovic can smell blood now, and Tsonga way too casual on that volley.
Casual or tired?
Well, yeah, exactly. I was just going to say, Mary, he doesn't seem to be getting up the same way on his serve. The explosiveness in his legs is not there.
Tsonga had the extra day rest, but in some accounts that can be exhausting too.
We might see that now from Tsonga. We might see him try to get to the net earlier, make the points quicker.
He's 13 of 24 tonight.
His crowd back in an enthusiastic mood. He holds, but down 3-2 in the third.
This is another thing the Australian Open gets right. All those ball kids that have worked for 2 weeks get to sit on the sidelines if they're not working on the court, to get to see their heroes. It's fan-friendly, it's player-friendly, it's ball kid-friendly, this tournament.
I like that.
Djokovic with a 3-2 lead, serving here in the third. They traded 6-4 sets.
Tsonga pulling up a little bit there on the dead run. Just doesn't have the same energy in the legs right now. Trying to keep himself relaxed and loose over there. But Djokovic has that punishing kind of ground game that has worn more than a few opponents down in this event already.
See how quickly Tsonga got from the baseline inside the service line there. The ball kids that are rewarded here on final night get a special seat right on the court, become fans after all their contribution of the 2 weeks, and they not only are Australians, they're here from China, Korea, throughout the Pacific Rim. To watch a tournament dominated by the Europeans and Eastern Europeans.
I was getting a ride from one of the drivers of transportation here, and she had a grandson that was one of the ball kids, and she told me, oh, it's his last year. And I said, well, why is that? She said, oh, he's 15. Once they get to be past 15, they're out. So that way they keep all the younger kids coming up, getting them interested in tennis, which I thought was kind of a nice.
Yeah, at the U.S. Open, they're guys
45.
They take their jobs from Wall Street off for the 2 weeks.
Yeah, forced retirement at 15. That sounds more like the French, doesn't it?
That's too bad. It's a big chance there for Tsonga at 15:30, and again, the feet just not moving now. A little frustration seeping into the attitude of Tsonga.
He knows what he had there.
Yeah, he had something to hit. But, you know, Djokovic has done a good job. See how he got that ball up? He's been hitting a little extra kick on the second serve. And Tsonga just hasn't moved forward into the court enough to take it early.
serve opens the court for Djokovic. A point for 4-2.
First set he looked like Ali, now he looks like Rocky.
Something bothering Tsonga, complains to chair umpire Ramos.
Again, I think it's the service delivery of, Djokovic and the bouncing.
Yeah, he doesn't know when he's going to serve. He's frustrated.
4-2, the advantage. Djokovic in the third set. It's taken some life out of this crowd that so enthusiastically has supported Tsonga from the opening stroke. Mama and Papa Tsonga. For Tsonga. 132 miles an hour. Too casual.
15 all.
For 15 all. There's the Franklin Templeton average first serve speed right on the nose. 118 for both men.
Tsonga has to play more of this kind of tennis, bang, bang, because the longer the points go now, not only is he not winning them, but it's also taking his legs away.
Changed his mind on that shot.
Well, he saw Djokovic over there in that corner, and he took his eye off the ball.
Both on the plus side, winners unforced. Late ball, but a correct one.
Good challenge.
Djokovic challenges. Let's see if it did hit the line. Two challenges left for Djokovic. Melbourne at night. This city, founded in the mid-1800s, almost the same time that the gold rush hit the United States, and folks went out to pan for the good stuff. San Francisco and cities out on the west were basically founded, so it was here a gold rush in the 1850s in Melbourne. And they're playing for some gold tonight. $1.2 million to the winner and half that amount to the runner-up. 4-3. Djokovic in the lead, third set.
And even the runner-up money, Dick, for Tsonga will be more than he's made so far in his entire career.
That's right.
It'll double his career earnings.
That's great.
These 2 weeks.
Wow, that's a great shot. That's That's what Djokovic started to do against Federer that really gave Federer all sorts of problems, flattening out the forehand cross-court. He was able to beat Federer in a lot of those rallies. As this man was able to make Federer look a half step slow.
Djokovic at age 12 left Belgrade to go to Munich, Germany, where he trained with the Niki Pilic Academy for a couple of years. All three of the successful young Serbs leaving war-torn Belgrade to work on their tennis games in other countries. Jankovic went to the military academy in Bradenton, Florida, and Anna Ivanovic to Switzerland. Makes her home now in Basel, Roger Federer's home. But their roots in this sport at a time where they heard bombing, 1999, the NATO bombings in their city, that you can imagine the fear and fright growing up in those conditions.
Tsonga realizes that he's got to try to do more early in the point, but Djokovic and his defenses are just so good. And he was able to withstand two pretty good shots there from Tsonga, keep it deep, and finally Tsonga just went for too much. Just so accurate off the ground.
And he's a game away. Novak Djokovic from a 2-1 lead. Meanwhile, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, what a storybook run he's had here in Melbourne. 484,000 his entire career prize money. He's surpassed that just by being in the finals. Ranked 38th, that's his highest ranking. And he will move up to number 18 after this championship, and if he wins it, number 9 in the world. Yeah, Djokovic throughout this third set has had the final reply. Here's another.
Shot there from the big man.
Finds himself 2 points from facing a 2-1 deficit. Tsonga challenges the call, so the fact that Djokovic put away that easy overhead matters not. And his ball was out. And 3 set points against the service Tsonga.
And Tsonga's just laughing, and that's part of the reason why they just love this guy down here. Triple set point down, and he can find a way to smile.
Yeah, he was between a hard and a rock Hard placing a rock on that call anyway. There's one set point swiped away. And you can just see the confidence building in the demeanor of Djokovic. That wasn't there in the opening set.
Set point save.
This crowd, as Darren Cahill indicated, he hadn't heard him cheer even for an Aussie like they're cheering for Tsonga tonight.
Ooh, boy.
What was that?
He's lost his rhythm there.
He digs out a low 40.
To deuce.
What a shot up the line. Just Agassi-like there from Djokovic, the way he's stepping in off both wings, taking the ball early, and relentlessly making Tsonga go side to side, point after point.
Earning his fourth chance at a 2-set-1 lead.
Well, he's bringing what he's got left. Fighting awfully hard here, Tsonga, to stay in this third set. Tremendous leaping ability there.
Fly swatting away another set point.
Just doesn't quite have the explosiveness with the legs on every serve that he needs. That's just too good. The defense there from Djokovic, and as soon as he gets a midcourt ball, he goes after it.
Continues to serve a dangerous line, Tsonga. Here's another set point, number 5. Leaning over the barrier, the family Tsonga. Hold on here. Maybe that'll give us the momentum to break back in the set game. Djokovic serving. Let's see.
They cheer his 12th ace. Finally a game point for Tsonga.
Well, he's on the ropes, but he's still throwing a few roundhouses.
Fooled by the timing on that. A miss hit from Djokovic.
Yeah, it's fatigue, I think, Dick, more than anything from Tsonga. It's just so tough right now because this man's bringing pretty much everything back.
And the error gives Djokovic yet another
Set point, number 6.
Sweet hands.
Well, he's showing tremendous heart just in this game to stay in and in this third set. He's serving beautifully throughout the match, just under 70%. He has 12 aces, 0 double faults, but he's still being made to work hard to hold serve.
Longest game of this match.
7 set points, 5 deuces. And there's the break for Djokovic. And the set. 2 sets to 1. Novak Djokovic, age 20, a set away from the Australian Open title.
We have tradition in our country. Whenever there is some great result in any sport, the people welcome him in the balcony. As a kid, we wish one time to be there as well, and we had this experience for the first time after the French Open. There's about 15,000 people. It was like a day of tennis. It was very nice to represent yourself in front of that people and celebrate with them. It's something which is really unforgettable. If I win a Grand Slam, I would come back in our country and probably celebrate with a lot of people in the balcony.
And Novak Djokovic set away from becoming the first Serb ever to win a major title, and that balcony is going to be very crowded with the likes of Ivanovic, a finalist here, Jankovic in the spot, Janko Tipsarevic, who took Roger Federer 5 long sets, 4 hours plus, 10-8 in the 5th. And how about the veteran 32-year-old Nenad Zimonjic? He's now with his Chinese partner son, the mixed doubles champion. What a Serbian surge here in Melbourne. Meanwhile, the United States, with all the talent, and the US of A, for the first time ever, not one single player in either event made it past the quarterfinals of this championship.
Yeah, but I heard they won Davis Cup.
That's why we need more Patrick McEnroe there on the sidelines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
That would make all the difference here.
All you have to do is say day, and you start smiling.
Just jump on it. Right.
Yeah, how exciting that was for all the fans of American tennis.
Well, again, Djokovic showing that ability to be stretched wide with the two-hander.
And he's just taken the legs out of Tsonga, hasn't he? And in the second set, Djokovic on serve only lost 6 points. In that last set, he only lost 4. So not only does it say he's in full control on his side of the net, but it also means that Tsonga's not reading the ball the same way. He's not reacting to it. He's not following it up with the rest of his game.
And one of the things we were noting in the opening set, Mary, was how much Djokovic was struggling on his second serve points. He was under 30% at one point. Oh boy, that is scary. And now he's over 50% on the second serve points.
Ole Nole, he has imposed his great talent on Tsonga since that opening set. And we're live from Melbourne at 10 o'clock in the evening on a Sunday night, a beautiful Sunday night, midsummer in the southeast of Australia. The 2008 opening to the Grand Slam season at Rod Laver Arena, 15,000 strong. They cheered mightily for Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. the 38th ranked player in the world, with his meteoric rise up the rankings and his tremendous play here in these 2 weeks. This underdog, who did take the opening set 6-4, but Novak Djokovic in charge now, 2-1. Love won in the 4th.
Also, I think when there was a certain level of acceptance from Djokovic that the crowd was going to be for Tsonga, and once the family stopped jawing to security and stopped complaining to the officials, once all that dialogue stopped, he settled into the match.
Absolutely right, Pam. Once they forgot about what was going on, and credits from the security for just helping calm things down, but Djokovic's attitude is much more positive.
Well, you know well, Patrick, it's true of almost every athlete in every sport. It's amazing, even though they say they're focused on the match and they don't see anything else, they quickly, especially with family that close by, they don't miss an emotion. Nope. And that bothers a player, and it did apparently Djokovic tonight early.
But again, the fact that he's been in these big situations before, I think it's really paid off for him here tonight.
That's more like it. Feeding Djokovic some of his own medicine. Backhand wing.
Well, this is the first backhand winner of the match for Tsonga.
1-all in the 4th. Can he find renewed energy? Jo-Wilfried Tsonga.
Well, he's
got his footwork back.
Yeah, he's got to now, Mary. He's got to get a little burst here early in the 4th. Get some adrenaline going, try to find it. This guy knows a little about adrenaline.
Djokovic, mind you, has not faced a break point since the opening set.
I was waiting for you to say sting like a bee, Vic. I can't believe you didn't. It was sitting there for you.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the butterfly. Had one winner, lonely against the 13 unforced errors on that backhand side.
And Djokovic, meanwhile, is equally as effective off both wings on the ground. He has 10 forehand winners and 8 off the backhand.
But doesn't it seem that his backhand has been more prominent, Djokovic?
Well, he rarely misses the backhand. He misses some forehands, at least he did early in the match. But his backhand is just a rock-solid stroke. And yes, Dick, he does use that to set up often his forehand with some excellent depth.
Well, if somehow Tsonga can find a way to break Djokovic and get a lead here in the 4th set, he's going to ride the wave of this crowd support. No question of that. They are already cheering loudly, but one can imagine how much they really will get behind Tsonga if he can find a way to break this man.
That's the one you're talking about, Dick, right there. That doesn't go down as a winner, but it might as well be. Beautifully struck up the line. And Tsonga can't catch up to it.
A little self-chastisement.
His only chance, really, it feels like, Tsonga, is to get ahead early in the points, take the court, once he drifts behind that baseline, he's in real trouble.
Well, that's what he has to do right there, Mary. He's got to just step around and try to take some big cuts with the forehand. He's done that twice in this game. It hasn't worked, but it's really his only shot right now.
Remember last year in the women's final when Serena Williams was saying how whenever she drifts around Melbourne, she was losing points?
Right.
Same thing with Tsonga. When he gets on the end where Djokovic is around Melbourne, he's in trouble.
At 40-15, he goes back to the dropper. Melbourne, but they don't pronounce the R down here. It's Melbourne. Good defense from Djokovic as he handled that terrific backhand from Tsonga and winds up with the game on serve in the fourth. 2-1, the set lead for Djokovic. Franklin Templeton Investments proudly presenting the 2008 Australian Open down in Federation Square, here in the capital city of the state of Victoria, Melbourne. Fans enjoying a beautiful evening, and championship tennis as Jo-Wilfried Tsonga serves at 1-2 in the fourth set, down 2-1.
Joe really doesn't want to have to work that hard just to win 1 point on his serve, but he's got to hold serve now.
A little more pop in that backhand in that rally.
He's got to hang tough here and then take his chances on Djokovic's serve.
Well, that time he was able to stay on top of the baseline in that rally. Push Djokovic back. That's twice now. Yeah, that looks awkward.
It's like he's cramping.
A little cramp, yeah.
I think that's why he's retied his shoes a couple times. I think he's been cramping a little bit in his feet the last couple games.
So now he really only has a puncher's chance.
Cramping after that long point. And Tsonga, as he went to the sidelines, was pulling up. Comes away with a point, 30 love.
And some major road work from both guys in these first 2 points of this game. Punishing rallies. Djokovic struggling now a little bit.
Is this his act, though? I mean, he did it the other day against Ferrer, where it looked like he had some breathing problems trying to close out David Ferrer. And then early in the third set against Federer the other day, he seemed to do a bit of this, too.
Tsonga with an ace. His 13th. He has more aces than any player in the championship. 98 total. 2-all, fourth set.
So he was having problems breathing, though. Djokovic, that's happened to him over the years, and he's even had surgery to help correct that. This looks more like cramping, not breathing problems. And keep in mind that nerves conspire to cramp up your body as well as just loss of physical conditioning.
Labors of 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Remember Guillermo Coria, the final of Roland Garros in 2004 against Gaston Gaudio. Neither had ever won a slam going into that one. Gaudio won in 5.
And Gaudio is outside the top 30 coming into that final. Same way that Tsonga is, number 38 coming into this tournament. He continues to sort of look like he's testing out his left hamstring a little bit, Djokovic. And if you're Tsonga, you have to notice that, and that's got to give you a little energy boost. You see that your opponent is maybe struggling as well. That'll make you feel a whole lot better. And Djokovic trying to pull the trigger early in that rally and coming up a little lame there.
Last serve under 91 miles an hour.
Now, because now Djokovic is trying to finish the points quickly.
A little sneak approach that time.
This may turn out to be a TKO situation.
He's only getting in 21% of his first serves in this set. And that's why this guy's getting angry.
Amazing how the mind can play tricks on players, and Tsonga looked really down and out, but as soon as he has recognized that Djokovic is struggling, he's got a little more energy. He's now looking to play longer points.
Tsonga, who struggled to win any points off Djokovic's serve in the last couple of sets, finally gets a game to deuce. That didn't happen the entire third set. Nor did it the second set. In that sense, Djokovic was broken to end the opening set at 4-5, as Tsonga had the opportunity. It's compact, isn't it?
Look at the footwork. Gets up to the ball so early, so takes it just above the knee, allowing him to go through the ball with some pace.
It was a struggle, but Djokovic holds. On serve 3-2 in the fourth. Djokovic 2-1. You see the trainer out working on Djokovic. Pam?
Well, right away when Novak Djokovic was going to the change of ends, he signified the chair umpire right away that he needed the trainer and then banged his racket against his hamstring. Now, actually, he's working on the left hamstring now, so that's clearly been the problem. I'll tell you, there's an incredible, just announcing the medical timeout now, which will take 3 minutes. Incredible amount of strain on his left leg. You know, every time he goes to serve and he bounces close to 20 times, all his weight's on his left leg. When he slides out wide on the backhand and plays that amazing defensive shot that turns offensive, all the stress is on that left leg, so plenty of opportunity, plus all the stress and strain of your second major final, so there's a lot going on.
Little concern there from mom and dad, but you saw Djokovic smiling throughout this rub by the trainer. So we'll take a break in the action. Fourth set, Djokovic leading 2-1.
Back live in Melbourne at the 2.5-hour mark. This is the longest match Novak Djokovic has had to play at the Australian Open. His previous 6 wins all in straight sets, and he has a lead of 2-1 and 3 games to 2 on serve in the fourth set. But we are used to seeing drama accompany these Djokovic matches that happened at Roland Garros and at Wimbledon as the matches wore on, and we're seeing a bit of it here kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, it really was, because he had all the momentum going into the fourth set and really taking control of the points, and his ground strokes we thought were just wearing out Tsonga, but all of a sudden within 5 minutes it switched around, and Tsonga obviously saw it in the previous game, and that's why he was so angry he didn't break serve there, because there were a few opportunities to get into those points, but wow, it puts a different complexion now on set number 4.
And all of a sudden the sting has come off the serve of both guys as Sting looks on. Your holding serve may be difficult if both guys can get quality cuts on the return. All right, let's go back to Dick, Patrick, and Mary.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. So Tsonga, his opportunity well defined. Get a chance, break Djokovic, stretch him out to 5 and see what happens.
Wait, so now Tsonga wants to go 15?
No decision here.
15 minutes.
Nice. We'll watch carefully the movement of Novak Djokovic. Didn't seem to be in any pain at all during the leg rub.
Seems to be moving pretty crisply in this point. Just overhits that forehand.
Number 14 for Tsonga.
And more than anything, it's given Tsonga a little extra life here, and he's, you know, he can sort of go back to playing the way he was playing earlier in the match. Just pick his spots, obviously be aggressive when he can, particularly with the serve, and that's a nice love hold, but also play a little defense. He's got a little, he's bouncing around now.
His 100th ace of the championship. A quick hold at love, and it's 3-all.
Djokovic just grabbed his leg again there as he was getting the balls from the ball kids. That left leg.
Djokovic has taken the medical timeout. Should the condition continue or worsen,
He's used that opportunity, has he not? In between in changeovers, he can call out the trainer.
Yes, he could. He could get another medical timeout for a different injury, but not for this particular one.
That's Djokovic's 11th ace. Good speed at 125.
Second serve.
That's a pretty good test of that hamstring. A love hold for Djokovic. Now this national holiday Australia Day weekend, and look at the fans out there in Federation Square.
Why don't they come out and support the tennis? Why don't they?
Isn't that fabulous?
Incredible. Look at that.
Not always a fan, Pam Shriver.
Yeah, I just talked to Wayne McEwen, the referee, who said it was just simply getting tired. Evidently, the request for the trainer, I spoke to the trainer briefly, said it was nothing serious, just a slight strain in the hamstring.
He was just the only person left in this arena you haven't spoken to over the last couple of weeks. Unbelievable job down there.
Thanks, Mayor.
Tsonga on quite a run on his serve. That's 13 out of the last 14 points. He's now 14 out of 15 in this set.
Well, it may be nothing serious, but it's pretty serious for Tsonga because it's given him some new hope and new life in this fourth set that he could actually somehow pull this match out if he gets to a fifth. Djokovic continuing to take some huge swings and keep the points short, which is just fine for Tsonga, particularly on his serve.
This is what he's become so good at, Djokovic. He's become one of the great opportunists on the court. Sensing when he can break open something, making it happen. Even against Federer in the last round.
Played some good defense, Djokovic, but it's Tsonga a point for 4-all.
Had it opening up the line, Djokovic, and couldn't quite pull it off.
No, that translates in all languages. So close. 4-all. Two sets to one, Djokovic. Is he the first serve to win this Australian Open title, win his first Grand Slam? Or will it go to Jo-Wilfried Tsonga? Started with a 6-4 set, now trails 2 sets to 1. 4-all in the fourth.
Here's where Tsonga has to be a compressionist. He's held his serve. Now he's got to take his swings on return. Not play long rallies. Keep his legs fresh for his own serve.
Here again, the backhand of Djokovic creates the winning point.
And he has Tsonga on the run throughout that rally.
What's nice, Patrick, is they're both so smart out there. They both know exactly what's going on.
It's about who's going to execute it better now. Who's going to handle this moment, this pressure.
It's a lot easier playing as a great star in Congos. For Dad.
And this is why they made Grand Slam tennis best of 5 sets. The mental and physical battle is all coming together and coming to a head now.
Didier was not only the best handball player in Congo, he was voted in 1974 the best in the entire continent of Africa. Six points from the finish line. Djokovic.
Well, that's a beauty of a volley there. He knew he had to keep that short and low because Tsonga was sprinting forward. Excellent passing shot here. And that's exquisite touch.
Djokovic has allowed only 5 points in 5 games here in the 4th set. Pressure on Tsonga to stay in the match when we come back. 5-4. Djokovic in the 4th, leading 2 sets to 1. Some never get up to that first rung on a Grand Slam ladder, but this 20-year-old is climbing toward the top. As you see his progress, round of 16 a year ago here. Lost to Federer, semis of the French to Nadal. At Wimbledon lost to Nadal in the semis. And then the U.S. Open final to Federer. And here he is in the finals and a game away from a title.
Well, so often the case, isn't it, Dick, in all sports, where you need to sort of be knocking on the door a couple of times and be in that big arena, that big stage before you can break through, which makes it all the more amazing that Tsonga's been able to get to this final the way he's been able to do it.
Having not even won a tour title at any time.
Djokovic has believed from the time he picked up a racket that he was going to be facing down a moment like this.
When you were a kid, you're playing a match and say, okay, this game is for the U.S. Open title or for a major championship. You play those dream games as a kid.
Here they are with a chance for it to come true. One man will win this title. And Tsonga trying to extend this championship match. No service break points in this set. Djokovic toes the line. See the dramatic difference in his service game since the start of the match. In the first set, he lost 17 points on his serve and lost the set 6-4. In the next 3 sets, he's lost only 15 points on his serve. How can Tsonga break through? Djokovic keeps slamming the door. And starts this 5-all game with a winner. In Belgrade and Paris. Fans watching live, rooting for their own. Daybreak in the States at 6:30 in the East. Great stuff from 2 young players.
Yannick Noah didn't watch this man beat Rafa Nadal, but he said as soon as he looked at his cell phone and saw all the messages, he knew that Tsonga had beaten the #2 in the world. I'm assuming he's watching this one.
Noah, the last French Grand Slam champion, 1983, Terre Battue of Paris. The last Frenchman to win the Australian championship 80 years ago, Jean Barotra, one of the 4 famed musketeers.
Missed him.
The way Djokovic has held serve, 30-all, is an opportunity.
Oh, huge opportunity here.
This crowd has been amazing in the opening game. There's the chance. First break point of the set. And Tsonga with the opportunity to take the lead in the 4th.
Thank you.
Somebody just yelled, "Stop it," about the bouncing of the balls.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
What hands by Djokovic at short range, taking that forehand and punching it back into the open court.
And now the crowd all over Djokovic, and Tsonga complaining about the ball bouncing. And Djokovic not helping his cause with his reaction after winning this point.
Is that a little expectoration made by Djokovic at the crowd? Just a slobber.
Thank you.
He escapes break point.
Please. Ladies and gentlemen, please.
You know, the crowd getting on Djokovic reminds me a little bit of quite a few years ago when Sergio Garcia the crowd used to get on him when he used to re-grip the club about, I don't know, 15, 20 times before a shot.
Djokovic escapes the break point. He holds for 6-5. And back live in Melbourne, Australia, 11:15 in the evening on a Sunday night. Rick Enberg, Patrick McEnroe, Mary Carrillo, Pam Shriver, Rod Laver Arena, and this crowd on its feet to salute both players, but primarily to urge Tsonga to take this fourth set to a tiebreak.
Thank you.
Down 2-1, serving at 5-6. To start this 5-6 game, Tsonga chewing his way out.
This is Ali like.
Let me hear you.
That's just classic. Oh, don't get too excited. He's still chewing.
He's still chewing.
Digest that thing already.
He's been chewing all match long. Every change of ends, he's eaten.
Look at the change of ends, okay, but not when you're serving at 5-6 in the fourth.
And you've never even been to a fifth.
Oh, yeah. I think he got it down. You just gotta love this guy. Just absolutely unloading when it matters most. No fear.
Two points for Tsonga to send this fourth set to a tiebreak. Double fault is his first of the entire match.
That's pretty amazing,
isn't it?
Yep.
And only 2 for Djokovic.
15 aces for Tsonga.
Another point for the tiebreak.
And he burns like a big one.
Look at this crowd at Rod Laver Arena. They're on their feet.
Both players receiving the challenge.
I guess a Grand Slam final without Federer and Nadal is not so bad.
If you polled this crowd, it's the highlight of the fortnight. Two great young players vying for this coveted title, and they go to a tiebreak to decide the fourth set. Tsonga wins, we go 5. Djokovic wins the tiebreak, he's the champion. Tough volley, but those are the ones that Tsonga was making against Nadal as we hit the 3-hour mark in this final. Djokovic, more experience, obviously, and a solid tie-break record. Tsonga, almost 2-1 wins over losses in tie breaks. But there's the mini break early for Djokovic.
Another good, solid return from Djokovic at full stretch, and Tsonga trying to pull the trigger early. Djokovic himself showing little fear as he jumps all over that forehand.
Appeared to hit the line, the sideline with that forehand. As Andre Agassi, the great champion, used to reply when someone said, "You hit all the lines," and Andre'd say, "Isn't that what they're for?" No fear, Djokovic went for it. 3-1. It is annoying, isn't it, all the bounces. Trading uppercuts in that exchange. And the forehand reply from Djokovic gives him a 4-1 lead. Think 2 absolute must points for Tsonga. Tsonga is going to challenge that call, which was out.
Both players have 4 challenges now because they got 1 extra by getting to the tiebreak. So it's certainly worth a challenge, though it is long.
So second serve.
And
a double fault, and will change ends. With Djokovic in command, up a double mini break, 5 points to 1. Knowing that regardless of what happens on the next point, he will have the championship on his racket when he next serves.
Tsonga has just gone for his shots in this tiebreak, but Djokovic has been as steady as can be.
In case you're just joining us, that N-O-L-E from the family, Nole, is Novak's nickname. And now the 2 points, Djokovic. 2 points that would give him the championship. Tsonga find a way to derail this 20-year-old. It's out.
6-2.
And with it, Novak Djokovic 4 championship points.
Thank you.
The 40th Australian Open Championship has a 20-year-old winner, Novak Djokovic of Serbia, in 4 sets over Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. How must it feel? The third youngest Open champion, Australian Open champion, turned pro at 16. Family here for the first time in Australia to see this young guy climb to the top of the tennis world on this Sunday night down under. Well, good on you, Novak, and good for us. We got a couple more tennis players that are going to be fun to follow in this 2008 season.
Well, what a match it was, and it certainly lived up to the hype. And Didier, father of his son, Jo-Wilfried's got to be so proud. And Djokovic, just, you know what, credit to him, the way he handled that 4-set tiebreak, and Tsonga made a little bit of a run, but boy, his maturity really shone through here.
Mature at age 20, tennis mature. Novak Djokovic of Serbia, the number 3 seed, has won the Australian Open Championship. In the little country of Serbia, shortly in the afternoon on a Sunday in his homeland, you probably could hear the cheers nationwide on that final stroke. Djokovic over Tsonga, the champion of Australia 2008.
Back live from Melbourne, here's match point for Novak Djokovic in that 4th set tiebreak. Tsonga's shot will miss, and then the realization that very suddenly it's over, just like the victory over Roger Federer in the semifinals here 2 nights ago. The decisive points coming for Djokovic in a tiebreak, Darren, and he's proven to be an extremely, historically good player in tiebreaks and Grand Slams now. He's now 33-6 in tiebreak. So just when his opponent's trying to turn it around, get momentum, as Federer was a couple nights ago, get the crowd back into it, boom, Djokovic slams the door.
Just relentless ball striking from Djokovic, and it's been that way for 2 or 3 years. He keeps on telling us that he wants to be one of the top players in the world, and this day was inevitable. It was, and well done to him. He's played incredible tennis, and you keep seeing his improvement through the years as well. And I think somebody who needs a lot of credit here is Marian Vajda, his coach, who's done a marvelous job, not only with Djokovic's game, but also inviting other people in to help him improve his game. And he's been solid as a rock as a coach, so that's well done to the team. Certainly it was inevitable, and maybe more majors to come.
Oh, certainly.
Sure.
I think you project that. You know, clutch defense, shot making, and once again a Djokovic match not without some drama, not without some defiance. There was certainly some defiance in this guy's demeanor. I think he felt like at times tonight, maybe most of the night after those introductions when Tsonga got the roar, that it was him and his box against the world.
Yeah, well, his camp for sure against the Tsonga and the whole crowd there, and I'm not sure that's going to be a good play for him long term. You need to win the crowd over, and what will be a big test is when the two players get introduced, who is going to get the bigger roar. It's probably going to go to Tsonga, but this is Djokovic's moment. Full credit to him because he was a star player this entire tournament. Well done.
About to take you on the court for the presentation, and you're right, this will be a roar for Tsonga as
Ladies
he's
and
introduced
gentlemen,
as the runner-up. Bruce McAvenny, the presenter of Channel 7, will take us through it and eventually introduce the president of Tennis Australia, Jeff Pollard. Enjoy.
Talk about two young gladiators going for it. On stage with me tonight is Mr. Jeff Pollard, the President of Tennis Australia, and Yusin Chung, Kia Motors Corporation President and Chief Executive Officer. And it's my pleasure to ask Mr. Jeff Pollard to come forward. Jeff.
Thanks, Bruce. Your Excellencies, Mr. Premier, Ministers, Lord Mayor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It certainly was a wonderful match between two exciting young players that represent the present and the future of the game. And there's no doubt with these sort of players, the game is in great hands for the future. Congratulations to both of them. Novak, congratulations. Finalist at the US Open. You've gone one step further here to win the Australian Open. Only 20 years of age, exciting future, number 3 in the world at the moment, and I'm sure you'll very quickly rise even higher still. Congratulations. To Joe, really, we watched him cause an upset, unseeded in the first round when he beat the number 9 seed Andrew Murray. He went on to again and again beat players ranked higher than him. We enjoyed every minute of every match that he played. He's an exciting player for the future, and again we congratulate you. The wonderful pleasure you've given all. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank our wonderful sponsor, Kia Motors, our major sponsor, who yesterday signed an extension of our contract for another 5 years to 2013. So thank you very much, Mr. Tsonga. I'd also like to thank our associate sponsors, Gagner and GE Money, our partners in Rolex, IBM, Optus, Aviva, the State Government of Victoria, and thank you, Mr. Premier, last week when you announced we will find a way to make this venue even bigger and better still. So thank you very much for your support, Mr. Premier. I do thank our other sponsors, suppliers, all our television coverage around the world, from the host, and particularly the host broadcaster, Channel 7, a wonderful team at Tennis Australia and at Melbourne Park, led by Steve Wood, our Chief Executive, Craig Tiley, the Tournament Director, and Wayne McEwen, the referee. We've certainly, ladies and gentlemen, been blessed with wonderful tennis, record crowds, excellent TV ratings, hundreds of thousands of people at our live sites here in Melbourne, in Sydney, and in Shanghai. And you, the people of Melbourne, the people from interstate, and people from overseas that have come here. Last Thursday week we set a world record on that particular day of 62,885, and for the total tournament I'm very pleased to announce that we're up over 50,000 from last year to 605,735. Thank you for your great support.
It's a great result. Congratulations, Jeff. I'd like to thank our chair umpire. It was a fiery match. We like it that way. But Carlos Ramos of Portugal did a great job. Congratulations, Carlos. And so do our runner-up. Jeff mentioned the quality of the players that Jo-Wilfried has beaten. He's beaten 4 players in the top 15 to make the final here tonight. But I think it's been more than who he's beaten. It's been the way he's played. Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry for my English, but I think I play better tennis than I speak English. I'm sorry about that. In first, I would like to thank all my cons and my family, all my staff, and everybody there. Thank you. After, I would like to thank Novak for this good fight, and for me it was a good moment, so thank you, Novak. I would like to thank all sponsors, Kia Motors, G Money, and Gagner for they make this tournament possible. So thank you. And the last one is you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You was unbelievable today. Thank you. See you next year.
Well done, Joe. Jeff mentioned the live sites and the fact that this Grand Slam is the Grand Slam of the Asia Pacific. So you've been a great crowd tonight. Can you just come with me for a moment, because we're going to Sydney to say hi to our friends there that have been watching on the live site in Sydney, and also to Shanghai. And what a day it's been for China, having won the mix here. So to our friends in Shanghai and also to Sydney, thank you for being part of it. And so, to our champion. Novak has achieved so much. He's the first Serbian to win a Grand Slam singles title. And today, by winning, Novak is now the youngest male to win the Australian Open here at Melbourne Park. The previous youngest was Jim Courier. Novak Djokovic, ladies and gentlemen, our champion.
Hello, everybody. First of all, before I thank everybody in this world, I would like to thank everybody in my box who supported me all the way through, not just these 2 weeks, all the way in my life. Thank you very much. I love you. Second, of course, Joe. Unbelievable tournament, and you should be proud of yourself. Fantastic results, and if he won tonight, he would be absolutely deserved. So well done for the success. And I know the crowd wanted him to win more. That's okay. No. It's all right. It's all right. I still love you guys. Don't worry. And of course, as Joe said, again, I'm going to repeat, thank you for all the major sponsors, Kia Motors, Gagner, and G Money, for making this tournament possible, and every single man and woman who participated in organization of this tournament. And I'm very, very happy that I won my first Grand Slam here. So hopefully we'll see you here in this stage more often in the future. Thank you very much.
So Djokovic at age 20 in his 13th Grand Slam holds the big trophy for the first time. Roger Federer, by the way, was 21 in his 17th Grand Slam at Wimbledon before he finally won his title. And Dick, we saw a final that had a weird feel to it going in, but it had a great feel going away. And Djokovic was the better player, and you get the feeling this is the first of quite a few.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We came here all prepared with our notes, big files on Justine Henin and Serena Williams and on Nadal and Federer. And look what happened. Two 20-year-olds, Maria Sharapova and Novak Djokovic, own the tennis world here with this Australian Open title.
And both of them, I think, won fans with their speeches as well as their play.
Mature at 20. I mean, these are kids that should be sophomores in college. Well, it's been an interesting time, hasn't it? And we love coming here because of the good-natured sense of the Australian people. They have fun, but it's good fun, and it's fair fun. And there are two expressions while you're here that are fun to my ears. One is no worries. You'd say thank you to someone. There's no worries, or I think I've got no worries. There's not a problem here. No worries. And the other one that I like, and it has great, rather than congratulations or nice going, they give you a good on you. It was a good on you experience.
Good on you, Melbourne. It was, for the most part, a happy slam for players and spectators. Maybe because in Oz, tennis opens its baseline so generously to the young of spirit. And for guaranteed happy pills, welcome Fabrice Santoro. No one plays happier. Count on it. At 35, the French magician again producing smile-splitting points. He even shattered Rogers' Mount Rushmore facade. Mother's Day conjures a happy occasion, and opening round brought a smile as we happily greeted Lindsay Davenport, the 7-month-old son, Jagger, on her return to Grand Slam competition, appropriately on Margaret Court Arena, named for the Hall of Fame Australian tennis-winning mom, reminding all that 28 years ago, the last mom to win a major was another Aussie, Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley. There is something special about moms, steadying, supporting, agonizing and empathizing, reflecting what's positive about support. Sadly, distracting dads best be not seen. Playing before her mom and grandmother, Aussie longshot Casey Delacroix made happy this entire nation with 3 unexpected wins. From shopping 2 weeks ago for tennis outfits at the outlet to Nike happy before an adoring country, and especially to a mom that has recently fought cancer and a grandmother who first kindled the family's love for this game 50 years ago, now enjoying through the misty eyes of love and surprise. Well, sometimes you can only smile at fashion and ask why. No worries. Predictably, Happy's antithesis made its expected visit, publicly refusing inclusion in Oz's happy hour. Maybe it's a warped sense of humor, but there is something about these extreme adolescent emotional eruptions that make me smile. Leaving after 4 in the morning, it's the Happy Slam, right, Marcus? Happy Slam bags pounded home. There you go, no doubt. I knew you believed. While the Americans made somber and sullen history, it was the Serbs that won the lottery, and they are a happy lot. From Jankovic's animated on-court fun and generous smiles to Ivanovic's cheerful charm. And how about Janko Tipsarevic? Janko Tipsarevic, the name sounds happy. Put on the goggles and produce wide-eyed challenge to the world's #1. While his looks better cast him as the villain, his play was robust and pleasing. Good on ya, Janko. And that brings us to the 4th member of the youthful Serbian set, Novak Djokovic. The name again, Djokovic. His tennis is serious stuff, but underneath the grimace and grind is a happy-go-lucky comic, down to impersonating the hair fidgeting of Maria. And that takes us to the man credited for coining the phrase Happy Slam, Always happy because he almost always wins, but also realistic is Roger Federer, understanding that in these majors, only one of 128 players has a happy ending. And tonight, that was the 20-year-old jokester, stone serious until the happy championship climax. As the tennis lyrical Frenchman Tsonga in defeat emerged as a reason for us to look forward to the future with happy promise. 2008 champions mirrored in precious Australian silver. No worries. Good on ya.
Good on you. Sometimes the family of boxers are entertaining as what's going on the court. That's certainly the case.
It's always a time at the end of 2 weeks that you're sad that it's over. You're happy for the development and to see a champion, but it feels like a letdown. You want it to continue somehow, and I guess it will on the Tervat too.
Well, this does launch the Grand Slam season, and because of the intrigue at the Australian Open, you begin to ask questions going forward. Well, Roger Federer didn't leave this slam very happy. Will this maybe take some of the pressure off? He won't be pursuing the calendar slam. Will it make it just a little bit easier to win at Roland Garros? And that he ought to be hungry to get in the court with this guy the next time Novak Djokovic. Another good rivalry is emerging.
And how will Tsonga play in Paris in front of his home crowd?
Oh, we can't wait to see whether this guy becomes a shooting star or a fixture in these Grand Slam finals. Djokovic certainly seems headed that direction. The first of perhaps many for the 20-year-old Serb. Well, this concludes our coverage down under. It's been a great run, 2 weeks, and that's the bad news, Dick. We don't get to come back to Australia for 50 more weeks. Sunday at noon, tune in for the re-air of the men's final. Djokovic and Tsonga going 4 exciting sets. And coming up next, the world's greatest fishing show. For Dick Enberg, Patrick McEnroe, Mary Carrillo, Pam Schreiber, and our entire tennis team down under, I'm Chris Fowler saying good day from Melbourne. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sport.